get a little Big Ten, Aaron Murray. And let's start with the team that I think is the best team in the country, the Michigan Wolverines. Sorry. I don't know why I said it like that. I think Michigan 12-0.
12-0.
Big Ten champs going to the playoffs.
12-0. I'm with you. I think that this is what they've been working towards for 3 years now. I still don't think they win the Natty. I think they do get the championships Monday. I think they're right in there, but JJ will have to turn into, and I keep seeing people say he's a first-round talent. I don't see it right now. He'll have to turn into one at some point this season for me to say that this team, they're in the same position to me, but they're just a little bit better than Clemson. You know, they're better defensively than Clemson. They're a better offensive line than Clemson. I think they're better. I think they're
about how they're like close with Georgia. They're better than they're better. I get it. What you're saying.
Let me finish the
weapons.
Yeah, because I still think they're a better version than Clemson because of the quarterback and the receivers are a tad bit better. But those are the two things that, just like Clemson, will hold them back this year.
I've spoken my piece on Michigan time and time again on this show. I think this is about as complete of a team as you will find in the entire country. Maybe, say, obviously if Carson Beck is good, then Georgia probably takes that title. Doesn't probably. Georgia will take that title. But this is a team that was already great. Now they're going to be better everywhere, and their biggest weakness, quarterback, should take a big step forward. I think where me and you disagree is I don't think it has to be that drastically different. I think they have to be willing to be more aggressive and take more chances, but I don't think it has to be anything like identity changing, like I was joking about earlier, like throwing it 30, 40 times a game. But I don't want to speak for you. Do you think it has to be that drastic for them to be able to overcome Georgia?
I don't think they have to throw the ball 40 times. I'm not saying an offense has to throw the ball 40 times a game in order to win a championship. I'm just saying the quarterback has to play at an elite level for them to win a championship. You can go 22 of 28 and throw 3 touchdowns for 250, and that's a hell of a game. That's all you need to do to win a championship. I'm fine with that. I don't need the offense to completely surround the quarterback. I just need that when his number's called, him to be extremely efficient and not just dink and dunk, but being able to push the ball vertically down the field.
So,
which once again, we saw that a little bit towards the end of the season. So you're hoping that carries over for him. But that was such a small sample size of him actually doing that at a high level. It was 3 games. 3 games.
That's interesting. Not because we think of efficiency as kind of normally like taking, like dink and dunk, right? But there are different ways of being efficient. Like we mentioned Jordan Travis earlier, he is explosively efficient. JJ was dink and dunk efficient last year with like his 75% completion percentage or whatever it was at some points a year. So yes, I agree with you. Okay, so we're actually in agreement on what Michigan needs to do. If they can do that, then I think they win a championship, because otherwise it's pretty much a perfect roster. I mean, if you look at the all Big Ten first team, Michigan has the running back, the quarterback, the all-purpose, the all-purpose, who's really just RB2 and Donovan Edwards. They got the center, they got the tackle, they got their other tackle on the second team, they got a wide receiver tight end on the third team. This, and that's not even getting to the defense. It's the Michigan team that's that. And so I think 12-0 Big Ten champs. And I think they end up winning the national championship. So prove me right, Jimmy Hars. And then
America's team.
We get to the school that Michigan hates more than any other, Ohio State. What do you think, Aaron?
I would love for them to pick up a damn quarterback. It doesn't make me feel good that we're 2 weeks out and they still don't have a quarterback they've decided on. So,
this is like Carson Beck, isn't it? Isn't it just Kyle McCord? What are we doing here?
I think it is. I do think it is. But just make a damn decision already. Just make it. I think more people knew that was going to be Carson Beck.
Less confident by the fact that they haven't named Kyle McCord yet?
Yeah, maybe just because I'm just so much closer to the program, obviously, that I knew it was going to be Carson Beck, and I'm sure there's people that are right there in Ohio State saying, listen, guys, we all know it's going to be McCord, and everyone just needs to calm down. But I'm just saying what we've heard coming out of camp is less reassuring, that he's kind of really taking the bull by the horn, similar to what's going on in Alabama, to where you feel like this guy is elite, and so damn good that we knew from the minute fall camp started, this was going to be our guy. And there's no questions about it. So I think the fact that there's even any sort of question going on right now should concern fans a little bit. And and concerns in the sense of, can we beat Michigan? Like, that's all that matters, because are they better than Penn State? Are they better than everyone else in the Big Ten? Yes. Will the game versus Notre Dame be interesting? I think so. I think Notre Dame's good enough to possibly upset them. It was a close game last year, and you're the number 3 pick in the NFL draft. So could that game be even closer on the road? 100% that game could be even closer on the road, and Notre Dame with an improved quarterback could win that football game. So that's how I feel about, kind of their schedule. Are they going to be better on defense? I think so. You look at the defense last year, massive strides the entire season, was a great defense all year, actually, until they faced Maryland. I remember watching the game. I was like, oh my God, this is horrendous, but it's okay because Maryland throws the football and they just got to figure out how to stop the run versus Michigan. And then Michigan blows them up in the second half and ran for over 200 yards. So,
but also remember, Ohio State was stopping the run in that game. At halftime, Ohio State had like 200 yards rushing to like 50 for Michigan. Yeah.
But that's because they committed the entire defense to stopping the run in the first half. JJ hits a couple bombs. They couldn't put 10 guys in the box, and all of a sudden Michigan ran for 200 plus yards in the second half. So you have to be good enough up front to still be able to help your DBs on the back end by not committing the entire defense to stop the run. So I think they'll be better up front. I think they're more suited this year than last to slow down Michigan. That being said, there's still not going to be enough improvement, especially going on the road to Michigan, that makes me feel like Ohio State is going to all of a sudden snap their fingers and be able to go toe for toe, man for man, pound for pound with a better, more physical Wolverine football team this year. So I think 10-2, 11-1 for Ohio State this year.
Okay, so let's hurry through these last ones because you got radio due, so we're on a little bit of time crunch here. But yeah, I think I could sum it up in a couple sentences saying that unfortunately Ohio State's not even that interesting to talk about because they're going to roll through the big and then they're going to lose to Michigan. And if that pisses you off, Ohio State fans, I watched Michigan beat Ohio State in awful weather in Ann Arbor, and then I saw them beat the hell out of Ohio State in beautiful weather in the shoe. So it's like, okay, until that reverses, like, why would I ever choose Ohio State over Michigan this year? So I think 11-1 doesn't make, it doesn't win the conference. And I think this year wouldn't make the playoff, but we'll see. Real quick on Penn State. I'm a little more down on Penn State maybe than many others are. Simply because I don't know that I'm the biggest James Franklin believer. He's very, very good at getting you at a certain point. I still want to see how far he can push that point. And, people act like Sean Clifford just fucking sucked. And Drew Allar is going to be like some like massive upgrade. And maybe Allar will, but like Sean Clifford threw for nearly 3,000 yards, 24 touchdowns, 7 picks. He ran for 5 more touchdowns. Like it's a 29-7 ratio. Like maybe the redshirt freshman Allar is better potentially, but like, will his numbers be drastically better to the point where suddenly Penn State's going to beat Ohio State and Michigan? I don't think so.
No, I don't think better enough for them to win that, especially when you don't have, I wouldn't say they don't have elite receivers on the outside either. That's going to hold them back as well. They get a great running game. And, they're going to try to be like Michigan, in my opinion, and try to impose their will on teams because they are one of the 3 big dogs and they can impose their will because they're just bigger, stronger than everyone else besides Ohio State and besides Michigan. So I see the same season as last year. It's unfortunate, but maybe you hope that you do see Drew Allar is pretty damn good. And Michigan does have this magical run this year and they lose everyone to the NFL draft after this season. And then maybe the following year, you're more in contention to win the Big Ten. But not this year. Michigan's too good this year. Ohio State's still Ohio State. I think 10-2 is kind of where Penn State's going to be once again.
Next up on the list, Nebraska. And look, I know, me, I'm T-Cobb. I'm the leader of the Corn Hub, so I'm going to keep this as objective as possible. I look at this schedule. Okay, Michigan's a loss. Outside of that, I'm not really worried about any other team save for Iowa, the last game of the year in the Corn Wars. I'm going with 11-1, potential 10-2. But I think Jeff Sims and Matt Rule are going to turn around there.
I could see 7-5 if we're going to be honest with ourselves here.
Real talk, because I'm at 6-6. Real talk. Okay, dude.
Are you really? Dude. I could see 7-5.
Let's go.
I mean, they're in the Big Ten West. I mean, the Big Ten West is atrocious, man. Like it's just a bunch of average teams that just any given day anyone can beat anyone. So I think they're right in the mix to have a pretty like who in that side of the Big Ten scares you.
Actually, no. You know what? I'm looking at the schedule. 7-5 feels more realistic. Yeah,
I think there's a chance of 7-5. So it depends on Jeff Sims. I think Jeff Sims is a pretty damn good quarterback. I think Matt Rule's a pretty damn good coach. I think their schedule is pretty damn easy. I mean, there is a world where Nebraska is 4-0 heading into that game versus Michigan, and all of a sudden you have two undefeated teams going at it and two mega brands. Like, that's exciting, though. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, Matt Rule 4-0 heading into a game versus Michigan, who's also 4-0. That's big noon kickoff on Fox. And Michigan's probably going to win the game, but at least Nebraska is going to be the talk of the town and going to get a lot of love heading into that game. And then after that, you just hope that doesn't completely derail any sort of momentum. But I think they're a good football team. They've got some talent. They were in a shitload of close games last year, and now you have a better coach that hopefully can push you through all of that. So I say 7-5 for Nebraska.
That's going to be one of those classic college football things that we see all the time where like kind of an old power shows a sign of life and they've got a huge match with a recent power and it's at the old power's home and it's like game days, everybody's hyping up and then they just get fucking smoked.
Oh yeah,
Like
it will be the big noon game. The
environment's going to be incredible, but they're going to get fucking worked.
Oh, it's going to be fucking awesome environment. Awesome environment for that game. My surprise team in the conference. I'm going to go with Iowa. It's a great defense. They return most of the side of the football. They'll be really good on that side. And just like I talked about earlier with Notre Dame, the missing piece was the quarterback spot. I mean, these two quarterbacks for both teams, Notre Dame and Iowa, two of the biggest additions this offseason with Cade McNamara leaving Michigan and going to Iowa. I'm not going to say they're going to be ball busters on offense, but they will be better on that side of the football. 8-4 team, maybe 9-3. Once again, week conference, but they don't play Michigan or Ohio State, so you huge benefit from them for that schedule. And you have
I think I was going to be great. In fact, my biggest surprise, I was going to zoom in even further and say that Brian Ferentz offense is not going to be that bad. I think that by the end of the year, I think Brian Ferentz will hit his contract incentive. I think Iowa will average over 25 points a game. And I think with Cade McNamara that this will be a middle of the pack Big Ten offense when it comes to points per game at the end of the year. So that is my big surprise hot take of the year is that Brian Ferentz will not be that bad. Where would 26 points have ranked in last year's Big Ten? That would have stuck you at 6th and 7th right there. All right, Iowa, let's go, baby. Let's go, Brian. Prove me right.